Automakers and governments around the globe are poised to move electric vehicles in and gas and diesel vehicles out. The electric vehicle megatrend is unfolding, and insiders know the time to get in on nickel and cobalt, the two critical elements to electric car batteries, already in high demand, is now. Don't miss this chance to get in on the opportunity to invest in physical Class 1 nickel and cobalt before the mass market catches on. Go to www.silverbullion.com.sg/EV and participate in the electric vehicle revolution.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another market update, November 2019. Housekeeping aside, if you are new to this channel or you have not already done so, please do subscribe, click on the bell to be notified on updates, and give us a thumbs up. If you like what we do, we really do appreciate your support. Well, with stock markets again touching all-time highs as they do every week, and the Fed announcing not QE, investors seem to be heading back into equities and lightening up on commodities. At least that's what we're sort of seeing as far as the price action for both nickel and cobalt, as far as both metals stalling a bit in price. Nickel is pushing to get back to that $15,000 per ton level, while cobalt has somewhat quietly been creeping upwards, looking to try and get to that $40,000 per ton level. Still a lot of room for both metals to reach their all-time highs, and the good news is that both metals are still in high demand, which only looks to grow as more of a positive outlook for lithium-ion batteries begins to come into play, and which, as you know by now, nickel and cobalt both play key roles.
From finance.yahoo.com, automotive lithium-ion battery market share to exceed $74.3 billion by 2024, according to P&S Intelligence. According to the market research report published by P&S Intelligence, the automotive lithium-ion battery market size was valued at $24.2 billion in 2018 and is projected to reach $74.3 billion by 2024, progressing at CAGR of 15.9% during the forecast period of 2019 through 2024. Historically, the industry witnessed the fastest growth from passenger car segment. The market growth is mainly driven by the high sales of electric cars worldwide and the increased government push in various countries in the form of subsidies and monetary incentives for the adoption of electric cars. Increased usage of NMC batteries, or nickel manganese cobalt batteries, in electric cars for increased effectiveness is the key trend observed in the automotive lithium-ion battery market. It's mainly due to tremendous decline in the prices of NMC batteries in recent years. Additionally, the demand for higher range per charge is rising, and these batteries offer a greater energy density and thus offers a higher vehicle range. The growing production and demand of electric vehicles is acting as a major driver in the growth of automotive lithium-ion battery market. People preference is shifting towards using more alternative energy vehicles, especially electric vehicles, due to the fluctuating fuel prices and concern over environmental protection due to rising pollution levels from conventional vehicles. Additionally, rapidly reducing prices of lithium-ion battery components are further supporting the demand of automotive lithium-ion batteries. The automotive lithium-ion battery with cylindrical cells witnessed fastest growth in the market. Its demand was driven by high mechanical efficiency and greater heat dissipation properties of these cells and their lower cost of production. Several manufacturers are focusing on using these cells in battery packs for manufacturing of their electric vehicles. The APAC region was the largest automotive lithium-ion battery market in the historical period. The high share of APAC region is due to the heavy production and sales of electric vehicles in China. China alone accounted for around 80% share in the APAC automotive lithium-ion batteries market in value terms in 2018. The largest size of the Chinese market is led by the support of government authorities, such as providing infrastructural support, including charging station spaces, offering incentives and subsidies, and pouring huge money in the electric vehicle industry. However, Europe was the fastest growing region for the automotive lithium ion battery market, and it is expected to continue witnessing the fastest growth during the forecast period, owing to the target set by the government to increase sales of electric vehicles. Moreover, the European Union planned its joint efforts with battery manufacturers and commercial lenders to build an ecosystem with a huge investment to become self-sufficient in battery production for the purpose of powering electric vehicles. For instance, the European Investment Bank, or EIB, provided primary approval for $392 million loan this year to Northvolt ETT to set up a battery Gigafactory in Sweden. Also, the German government is planning to ramp up its domestic production of battery cells for electric vehicles. Such factors are supporting the demand of automotive lithium-ion batteries in the European region.
And speaking of battery plants being built in Europe, Tesla plans to build a Gigafactory near Berlin.
From CNBC.com, Tesla CEO Elon Musk announces plans for fourth factory and design center near Berlin. Tesla CEO Elon Musk makes it official. The electric car company plans to build a Gigafactory in Berlin. The facility would be Tesla's fourth, following the first Gigafactory battery plant in Nevada near Reno, a factory that makes charging equipment and power electronics in Buffalo, New York, with plans to make Tesla's solar roof tiles there someday, and another car plant that's coming online in Shanghai today. Musk said everyone knows that German engineering is outstanding for sure. That's part of the reason why we are locating our Gigafactory Europe in Germany. We are also going to create an engineering and design center in Berlin because Berlin has some of the best art in the world. When pressed for more details, Musk said the factory will be located near the new airport in the Berlin area. Musk announced the location while speaking at an award show in Germany. He was given a Das Golden Lenkrad, or Golden Steering Wheel Award, by Bild, a publication owned by Axel Springer. Musk has talked about Tesla's aims to build a European factory for years. In 2016, after Tesla acquired a German manufacturing and automation design firm, Grohan Engineering, the CEO suggested that its European factory should be in Germany, reiterating that suggestion on social media last summer and on earnings calls several times. U.S. revenue dipped for Tesla in the third quarter, but its sales have increased in European countries throughout the first 3 quarters of 2019, despite a slowdown in the overall market for new cars in the region. Building a factory there could help Tesla avoid the complexities of exporting its cars from the States to Europe and could help it avoid uncertainty around trade and tariffs.
Okay, I know when you mention Tesla, you are going to have to talk about their Blade Runner looking Cybertruck. Well, there's no point in talking about it if we can show it to you, right? So, for your amusement, the Tesla Cybertruck and its bulletproof windows.
Tesla CEO Elon Musk unveiled the newest vehicle in the automaker's lineup, an electric pickup truck starting at $39,900.
Doesn't look like anything else.
Dubbed Cybertruck, the new vehicle's design is inspired by the science fiction movie Blade Runner and can withstand 9mm bullets. There were a number of tests to show just how tough the vehicle is compared to its rivals.
Sure.
Though one of the demos failed.
Room for improvement. Fix it in post.
Yes, fix it in post. Getting back to the topic we were just on, factories. Volkswagen is set to start its factory production of electric vehicles that will have a price tag within the reach of millions.
Also from CNBC.com, Volkswagen starts factory production of electric car it says is accessible to millions. The Volkswagen Group officially started series production of its ID.3 electric car, with the German auto giant aiming to become a world leader in the growing field of e-mobility. A ceremony held at Volkswagen's Zwickau plant was attended by CEO Herbert Diess and German Chancellor Angela Merkel. In a speech, excerpts of which were published online, Diess said that the ID.3 would make an important contribution to the breakthrough of e-mobility. It makes clean individual mobility accessible to millions of people and is a milestone for our company on the road to becoming climate neutral by 2050. In an announcement on its website, Volkswagen described its electric offensive as picking up speed. The ID.3 is set to be launched almost simultaneously in European markets next summer, with the basic version marketed at less than 30,000 euros. The Zwickau facility is currently undergoing a conversion from being a 100% internal combustion engine factory to one that produces only electric vehicles. Volkswagen is putting around 1.2 billion euros into the site's redevelopment and says that from 2021, it will have the capacity to produce 330,000 all-electric vehicles annually. The German car maker is planning to launch almost 70 new electric models by 2028. In March, it said it would spend over 30 billion euros on the electrification of its vehicle portfolio by 2023. Alongside firms such as Elon Musk's Tesla, some of the automotive industry's major players are now making moves in the electric vehicle sector. The Hyundai Motor Group recently said it would launch 23 battery electric vehicles over the next few years, while Volvo Cars wants 50% of the cars it sells to be fully electric by 2025.
From a factory fleet of affordable electric vehicles, we'll move over to a fleet of ride-sharing electric vehicles as Lyft is set to announce some 200 electric Kias in Colorado.
From the ColoradoSun.com, Lyft is introducing a fleet of 200 electric Kias in Colorado, a car model that motorists here can't even buy. A change to Colorado's electric vehicle tax credit law this year prompted the ride-sharing company to choose the state to launch its first EV fleet in the U.S. Coloradans will be able to catch a ride in a sleek new 40,000 electric Kia Niro as soon as December, even though the vehicles aren't available for sale in the state. That's because Lyft is making a fleet of 200 of the long-range electric crossovers available for lease to its Colorado drivers. The ride-sharing company rolled out the plan, its first attempt in the U.S. to make an electric vehicle fleet available to its drivers, thanks to a law change earlier this year. Legislators opened up Colorado's electric vehicle tax credit program to rental companies and businesses with fleets in an attempt to attract a company like Lyft to put a mass of EVs on the roads. Lyft, which lobbied for the change, hopes laws will change in other states as well. The real key is that Colorado enabled an EV tax credit to be used for our industry and for our rentals, which doesn't exist in every state, said Gabe Cohen, Lyft's regional director for the Rockies region based in Denver. That allowed the cost of the purchase to come down to the point where we could feel the economics worked out to launch this year. The policy was incredibly important. Lyft also said it hopes to expand its Colorado fleet by the 200 cars announced as part of the company's broader effort to reduce emissions and combat climate change. The new initiative was touted by Governor Jared Polis and Denver Mayor Michael Hancock, who joined Lyft at the company's announcement outside the state capitol. Hancock and Polis arrived at the event in one of the new Kias. Denver is working hard to combat climate change. That's why I'm proud to stand with the governor of Colorado and Lyft to celebrate their new fleet of 200 EVs soon to hit Colorado streets. This will help make our air cleaner and get Denver closer to reducing its carbon emissions 80% by 2050.
And keeping with fleets hitting the streets, we'll come back over here to Singapore, where electric buses are set to test the market.
From the businesstimes.com.sg, LTA to deploy 60 electric buses by ST Engineering, Chinese firms, next year. Commuters will have quieter and cleaner bus rides earlier next year as a batch of 60 electric buses or e-buses begin operation as part of a trial. The e-buses from ST Engineering Land Systems as well as Chinese companies Yutong and BYD will arrive progressively from now to the first half of next year. Due to the size of the batteries, the single and double-deck e-buses can carry about 80 and 120 passengers respectively, about 10% less than the capacity of regular diesel buses, said a spokesman for the Land Transport Authority. LTA declined to reveal which routes the e-buses will ply, but said it will take into consideration the smaller capacity to minimize inconvenience to commuters when choosing which routes to deploy them. The e-bus trial is meant to uncover how factors like range hold up under local traffic and weather conditions. Another 50 diesel-electric hybrid buses are already on the road in a similar trial. The new e-buses will be kinder to the environment than diesel ones. Deploying them results in a reduction of about 7,840 tons of carbon dioxide a year, which LTA said is the same amount of CO2 emitted by 1,700 passenger cars.
A lot of news coming out about electric vehicles, and with that news naturally comes questions. And one of those questions is, are electric vehicles environmentally friendly?
Electric cars may be the future, but they're still critically flawed in a key area. Electric vehicles are lauded as an environmentally friendly alternative to gas-powered cars, thanks in part to producing no emissions on the road. Yet building electric cars creates more greenhouse gas emissions than producing an equivalent gas-powered vehicle. Studies have shown that to be true in the world's top 3 markets in the US, China, and Europe. It's on the major automakers to refine the process of building cars to reduce their deleterious effects on the environment. Some have made significant progress. Studies have shown that in the US, Europe, and in China, producing an electric vehicle creates more greenhouse gas emissions than producing an equivalent gas-powered vehicle. The biggest reason for that disparity is an electric vehicle's battery, which can account for about a quarter of its weight. Colby Self, the managing director of the Automotive Science Group, told Business Insider. Electric vehicle batteries are bigger than those used in gas-powered cars and feature a different kind of chemistry. While vehicles that run on gas tend to use lead-acid batteries, electric vehicles use lithium-ion batteries like those found in cell phones and laptops. Lithium-ion batteries require a lot of energy to produce. So too does the extraction and refinement of metals like lithium, nickel, and cobalt. They're also harder to recycle than lead-acid batteries. The CO2 emissions from making a battery are higher than what you save from not making the engine and transmission. A 2015 study from the Union of Concerned Scientists found that manufacturing a mid-sized electric vehicle would produce about 15% more emissions than the process of building a similar gas-powered vehicle would. For a bigger electric vehicle with a larger battery, that gap could grow to 68% or more, the non-profit organization found. The International Council on Clean Transportation came to the same conclusion based on a review of 11 studies published between 2011 and 2017. The non-profit organization said that the electricity used in the battery production was the single biggest factor in explaining the emissions gap, which means using cleaner sources of energy would be the most impactful way to reduce the emissions that come from the production process. Volkswagen, which has perhaps the most ambitious electric vehicle investment plans of any major automaker over the next decade, said that part of its agreement with LG Chem, one of its battery suppliers, requires the chemical company to use only environmentally friendly sources of electricity. And Tesla intends for its battery factory in Nevada to one day run entirely on renewable energy. Tesla and BMW are also engaging in battery recycling programs, which the ICCT cites as another way to reduce the emissions from battery manufacturing. Overall, decarbonizing electric grids, recycling batteries, and increasing battery energy density could increase the emissions produced by battery manufacturing by up to 49%. Automakers are taking other steps to reduce the use of environmentally harmful forms of energy in their vehicle plants. BMW may be the most ambitious, saying it will use only electricity from environmentally friendly sources when making vehicles starting in 2020. Daimler plans to use only renewable energy in vehicle production starting in 2022, and Volkswagen says it will make production carbon neutral by 2050. Tesla and Toyota also aspire to rely entirely on renewable energy at their manufacturing plants, but neither has set a deadline to complete transition.
Is there any one perfect solution? That question is rightfully debatable, and as the debate continues, governments and automakers are continuing to go forward with electric vehicles and are indeed listening to the people and their concerns. Environmentally, the world is striving to be and will become a cleaner place, and electric vehicles and the battery metals, nickel and cobalt, will have a role to play to provide us a cleaner world. Keep an eye on nickel and cobalt and the electric vehicle revolution. That's the November 2019 market update. Take care, everyone.
Excited about the opportunities in the coming electric vehicle revolution and looking to invest in this electrification super cycle? Demand for battery metals like nickel and cobalt is expected to rise in tandem with the increase in demand for lithium-ion batteries in electric vehicles. You can now buy nickel and cobalt parcels with silver bullion and have a direct price exposure to both battery metals. You have the option to buy 2-ton nickel parcels or 250 kilogram cobalt drums. Every parcel will be fully insured against loss and guaranteed to be genuine by silver bullion. Selling your parcels to lock in profits is as simple as logging into your silver bullion account, selecting the parcels, and clicking sell. Buy your nickel and cobalt parcels now at Silver Bullion's website www.silverbullion.com.sg/EV and participate in the electric vehicle revolution.
Interested but have questions? Email us at sales@silverbullion.com.sg or give us a call at +65 6100 3040.